we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Little note. Hey, welcome. I'm late. The AI plane is actually waiting for me to make a move. So I think that's great. That's good. And what we're gonna do.
Tower is disconnected and bypass beam has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
We'll go out this way. Look behind me. And no bottlenecks. Sometimes I think the world traffic, I know some of my planes would get like stuck, that they would never move. And see if that. I'll see if that ever does. The traffic global does that ever. We'll see. Still might. Still might. Extra charge for the four-wheeling just then. It's alright. What I think too, it seems like things are kind of steady. Like right now, we're heading to the runway. Do I have anybody behind me? I think I will. Last time I had 2 additional planes that were with me going to the runway. Pulling off to the shoulder here for a second though. Jar. Get ready. And then we're going to review our information here. Okay, so we're coming off of runway 01, which is different than what we had earlier, and make sure I've got our so departure 01, and what is our departure? Our departure is fat. Let's make sure we don't have any discontinuities. Nope.
Bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and crew is clear. You're good to go. Have a great flight. See you soon.
Runway 19 via November Golf Alpha.
I think what I like about this flight is you don't have time to like even like look away. You got to pay attention the whole time.
Delta 7673, contact tower on 118.6.
Switching to tower on 118.6, Delta 7673.
Config flaps, stabilizer trim.
Tower,
Thank you.
Delta 7673. Afternoon, holding short of runway 1, ready for departure.
Delta 7673.
4.5.
Maria Cordova Tower, runway 01, winds 350 at 6, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 01, cleared for takeoff, Delta 7673.
Takeoff briefing, yes. Cabin, yes. MCP, transponder. TCAS, yes. Strobe lights, yes. Continuous, yes. Reset clocks, yes. Let's go. Okay. Gear up. When I reset the trim, it reset the V speeds. So I actually took off a little faster than I planned to.
1000.
Delta 7673, contact departure on 121.1.
Switching to departure on 121.1, Delta 7673. Medaline departure, Delta 7673, afternoon, climbing past 8,000.
Delta 7673, Medaline departure, radar contact. Climb via the SID to 12,000.
Climb via the SID to 12,000, Delta 7673.
As we climb to our cruising altitude, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air.
As
We
we
ask that you
go.
also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for
Expect the
purchase for
SBA-4 Echo
cabin.
arrival. Expect to descend in about 20 minutes.
A complete
Say the word
listing
if
of
you want to
available
descend sooner.
beverages,
Expect the
as
ILS
well as
X-ray runway
refreshments
14 right
items
approach
can be
into El
found
Dorado.
in your seat pocket.
Expecting the ISBA-4 Echo arrival.
Please be reminded that
Expecting
Delta
ILS
accepts only
X-ray
major credit or
runway
debit
14
cards
right
for
approach
onboard
into El
purchases
Dorado.
of beverages
Delta
and snacks.
7673.
However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
SV ILSX. SV ILXX. Clouds are looking much better, much better. So far, we're on course as we should be. we're approaching ISVAT. We're 18 miles from top of descent already.
Thousand to go.
Alright. $71 miles outside of El Dorado. We're at 23,230, and we're beginning to trace our arrival route into approach. Brian, get our descent clearance.
already in contact with metal in approach. No need to contact clearance while airborne.
We need descent clearance.
Requesting descent clearance now.
Metal in approach Delta 7673. Requesting clearance to descend to 12,000 feet.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent.
Delta
At this time, we ask that
7673,
you kindly
descend
begin
via
to recheck the
ISBA 4
security
Echo
of
for the
your
ILS
seatbelt.
X-ray runway
And if
14
you've
right
removed
approaching
any
to El
items from
Dorado,
your overhead
QNH
bins, please begin to
1015.
restow them at this time.
Descend via ISBA 4 Echo for
Please
ILS
check around your
X-ray
seating
rate
area
runway
and the seat
14
pocket
right
in front of you
approach.
for any cups,
QNH
glasses, or other articles you wish to
1015.
discard.
Delta
Kindly
7673.
hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
It's kind of weird. We've only been up the air for 14 minutes, and we're already coming in for approach. I mean, honestly, it does make more sense to fly, even if it's 130 miles away. It's not like getting on a 4-lane interstate and being able to get somewhere. So I'm sure they have a lot of commuter flights that go back and forth from El Dorado to fill in the blank. Okay, so I'm just thinking common sense here. You always you have to have a divert airport, like a alternate. What's your alternate airport? So you usually have it in there. So if you're flying from where we just came from in Colombia to El Dorado, it's like 130 miles, and you have to divert. You're going to divert back to the same airport you took off from, because there's nowhere else to go. You can't get the people to another location. There's no way for them to get. There's only by air is the only way they can get anywhere. So it's kind of rough. When we're in Honduras, we fly into Comayagua, and Tegucigalpa is the only other option, but they don't take international flights, if I understand anymore. And Tegucigalpa was the kind of airport to where when you flew into Tegucigalpa, the moment you got, like, you were still on the runway, the passengers applauded. If that tells you anything, like, yay! Oh, it's great. It is like a roller coaster to get into Tegucigalpa. In fact, I'm looking for Tegucigalpa today. I want to see if I can land there. But we take for granted you got an airport everywhere in the United States, and probably in England too. They're just everywhere. I think we're going by the numbers this time. Like VNAV's managing for me a little bit, so they've got us at 17,000, and bringing it down in managed fashion. Delta 7673, we're requesting, we would just like to stay on the flight plan we're on. We're requesting that we not receive any vectors. If we could just stay on the waypoints that we're currently on, it will be a lot easier.
Delta 7673, approved to stay on the flight plan and continue on current waypoints.
Approved to stay on flight plan and stay on current waypoint, Delta 7673. That blows me away. She actually understood what I was trying to say. That's pretty good. Alright, come on. Let's have a good landing.
Flight level 250.
Flight level 250, 16324.
So we're being managed right now. We're 250 knots by VNAVs, and we're at 17,000 for this waypoint and the next waypoint. Nor 85, and Poldy will drop down to 15,000, and AMS, they'll take us down to 13,000. And the AMS turn is the turn to final. AMVES. Right, left turn coming up here. Wow, are we already that close to? Yeah, we got one left turn. That's Nor 05 and Poldy, and then AMS is the final turn to final. There we go, turn coming. Okay, 3 miles on this at 17,000, then to 15,000. And I'm waiting to see if it continues its descent. Go ahead, buddy. Show me something. Tell me something good. Come on. Okay. See, I don't know if the reason that it hasn't started yet is it's just it knows the exact descent calculation. So it knows when it needs to begin that descent. Okay. Let's see. Got it. Got it. Understand. Just need to trust you. Trust your instruments. Clouds are beautiful. Good job. Nice. We will probably continue our descent after this. Yeah.
7673, descend altitude 11800, turn left heading 135 vectors for the ILS runway 14 right approach.
Descending to 11,800, turning left heading 135 for vectors to the ILS runway 14 right approach. Delta 7673.
Delta 7673 request to continue on flight plan to final.
Delta 7673, contact Bogota approach on 119.65. Delta 7673, descend altitude 11,000, turn left heading 120. Delta 7673, approved to continue on flight plan to final.
Bogota approach, Delta 7673, afternoon, descending through 14,000 feet for 12,000.
Delta 7673, Bogota approach identified. Good afternoon, El Dorado QNH 1019er.
Descending to 11,000, turning left heading 120, Delta 7673.
Gosh, look at that elevation.
Delta 7673, proceed direct, Charlie Foxtrot 14 Romeo, descend altitude 10800 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 14 right approach.
Proceed direct CF14 right, descend altitude 10,800 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 14 right approach, Delta 7673.
Right, we're hoping for good stuff here. Come on, man. We're 15 miles from final. I don't think this is fog. I think we're just cutting through some clouds, and they're not low clouds because we're at 8,000 elevation.
2,500.
Terrain. Pull up.
Delta 7673, contact El Dorado Tower on 118.1.
Switching El Dorado Tower on 118.1, Delta 7673. El Dorado Tower, Delta 7673, afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 14 right.
Delta 7673, El Dorado Tower, roger. Continue approach. All aircraft be advised. Information Quebec is now current. QNH 1028.
2500.
Delta 7673, El Dorado Tower. Winds 140 at 10. Runway 14 right, cleared to land.
Runway 14 right, cleared to land. Delta
Good,
7673.
good times, good times. That is a good sign right there. Good sign. I'll get it. Start to feel it. They feel fast here. Feel it.
100.
Okay.
Tank rate. Tank rate.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Delta 7673, welcome to El Dorado. Contact ground on 121.8.
Switch to ground on 121.8, Delta 7673.
80 knots.
El Dorado ground, Delta 7673, cleared of runway 14 right, ready to taxi to the gate. Good afternoon.
Delta 7673, El Dorado ground, taxi to 74 via Kilo 7, Kilo Papa Foxtrot. Good afternoon.
Taxi to 74 via Kilo 7, Kilo Papa Foxtrot. Delta
Please remain seated with your
7673.
seatbelt securely fastened, as the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in
I don't know if I can taxi.
and managing your SkyMiles accounts. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a uniformed Delta agent leading this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Professionals and we would like to thank you all for flying with us. Enjoy having you on board, and look forward to the opportunity for everyone to get. Thank you so much. Flight attendants prepare doors for arrival. Cross-checking all calls.
Contact tower on 118.1. So long.
Ground to copy. Please, show me where you want to go. Ground cockpit. Tau is driving up.
So, I'm just about, we're not going to let El Dorado kick our tail. That is the third approach. And that time I actually went ahead and allowed for auto land. And I think what's messing with me, it's the elevation. The elevation actually is what really kicks my tail. So anyway, live and learn. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Learn something from my mistakes.